So, are we back? Are we back? I don't know if I'm back. Trying to see if that's actually happening. Let's see. Are we back? I believe we're back. Whoa. What was I saying? The internet was good and everything worked really well. The sound was okay, the image was okay, and the internet crashed. OBS crashed, so we all crashed. Yeah. So we are back. Oh boy, this is crazy. So we are again back here. I believe this is going to work. If this doesn't work, I'll try live stream on Shorts or something of the sort. Yeah. Oh, you make a good point. Half the solution is knowing the reason for the mess, and OBS just said, "Hello, I crashed, so good luck." Thankfully, it's minimalistic let's say, in terms of problems, it was a small problem in here, but I still have the internet with problems lagging a bit. So if you see it lagging a lot, we may have to cut this short and I don't know, try to do a live stream in some other way. So we were talking about 2D music projects that I felt that deserved a second chance, and I believe that question was already answered with so many hiccups in the middle. So yeah, at least Unwelcome, you got to listen to Perfection Noise. I hope you enjoyed it. Perfection Noise actually has one song in there by Seiya, the character that Soma Saito voices, performed 75% in English, and Soma Saito's English pronunciation is too good. So we have that in there as well. And Kaito Ishikawa, actually, his song is one of the best in that franchise, which goes to say that even if I'm not a big fan of a seiyuu in specific, they can still mesmerize me. And in that case, he mesmerized me. It mesmerized me in that specific song. I don't recall the name. It's been a while, but yeah. So that was all about the 2D music projects and that mess with the internet. So let's see if I don't have that mess again. Once again, I'm checking too many screens at the same time to see if something lags, and I have my laptop in there to check the live stream live to see if there is any kind of issue. So we have that in there. But yeah. Unwelcome says, I made the suggestion about a type of top of project that deserves a second chance. In that way, we can meet those. I can take note about that for a feature here. So, or I can make even an article on the website. Projects that deserved a second chance. I got that noted, so I will be picking that up for an episode either of the podcast or something on the website. But I will let you all know, and you are going to get the shout out and welcome. The song name with the 75% English. Let me check, because I have a playlist with songs of male seiyuu performing in English, and that song is in there on Spotify. So let me check. The song. Let's say playlists, artists. Okay. That song is really, really good, and he's performing almost fully in English. It's awesome, really awesome. English here it is. So I do have a playlist like that, in case you don't know. So you performing songs in English. It's a playlist I have. And the song is called Turning Point. So it's Turning Point. So that's the song in there. Let me check if I have the link. Da-da-da-da. I will grab the link right now so that you get at least the CD itself. Perfection Noise. And you guys can actually see how awesome it is, Somasaito performing almost fully in English, because his voice is good. So yeah, Senna is actually Senna, not Seiya. I'm saying Seiya since the start, and he's Senna. It's here. So we have here the review, and I believe the preview. Yeah, we have the review and the preview. I'm going to leave you the video here. Check it out. So you have that in there. The song is Too Good to Be True. I will leave you to watch that video now if you want to, and then you can return to these. It's worth your time. So yeah, that song is really, really good. So while you are checking that out, I'm going to be here checking if I have any more questions from you. Oh, Perabo. Ginny, you are talking about Perabo, but let's say Perabo in some way, isn't it Aopella? Basically, I believe that someone a couple of years ago told me that Perabo was actually the first steps into a cappella music as a project, and it had drama tracks and everything else. So I believe that Perabo is in some way a spiritual predecessor to Aopella. So I believe that in some way, even some of the cast from Perabo is in Aopella. I believe Tetsuya Kakihara, Tomoaki Maino. So yeah. You're welcome, Jeannie, and unwelcome. You need to listen to that project. You need to listen to that project fully. It's really, really that good. I know, Jeannie, I know. Osoyas. Osoya, I would love to hear him sing like he did back then. I love his voice. I've said it before. I believe he would be the best singer among male seiyuu right now. Hands down, I wouldn't have any issues whatsoever to defend that. He had the technique, he had the voice, he had the skills, he had the versatility. I would put him alongside Kisho and Toshiki Toyonaga when it comes to the skill alone. Raw. I'm not even talking about training it. Raw. And he had it. And I believe that we deserved more, but then things happened with Osoya, and well, we now do not have Osoya in there. But if he sang a cappella music with the Aopella franchise, that's a dream, and it will continue to be a dream, unfortunately, but it would be so good. So good, really. But yeah. We have some comments here. Ao says, it looks like the artist for Perfection Noise is from the A3 franchise. The artist is good, but for some reason all these story-driven series take off with them, even if the songs are good. Damn, that's weird. I didn't have any problems whatsoever with the designs, and I felt that if people are going to pick on something in this project, maybe the mixing, because it's a bit weird at times. But still, why did so many people ignore it? I don't understand. But yeah, unwelcome, you are watching the Anime Vortsuki Pro, the CD recently released with the songs from the very first season. Oh, full versions of everything I love in that season. Although I have the full versions, but now having the full CD is a completely different experience. The songs are amazing. I can't recommend enough the Tsuki Pro franchise or Tsuki Pro as a project. I know that we've talked about how Tsuki Pro is an umbrella name to talk about specific groups, but I'm talking about the SQ, Solids and Quell, and Alive, Growth, and Soara groups. They are amazing. They really are amazing. Tsuki Pro Season 1 endings are officially... Yes, I'm going to start talking about that because I feel that not many people know that. And I still have to find on my Spotify those songs, but I've started noticing that the Side M franchise is there in some way. Ensemble Stars is already there, and now we have Tsuki Pro, so it's really, really awesome. We are starting to get good music coming to international fans, and finally international fans can find the music and support directly instead of stealing music or going to those pirate download websites and pay €5 to get access to a CD that they stole from China, which is crazy. But yeah. We do have that in here, and I have another question in here, so let's go to the questions that were sent. I still have 1, 2, 3 more questions sent from the public, and I will be talking with you, so we still have 50 minutes to talk, so I believe that we are going to cover both. I'm going to be a bit faster answering these questions. We have a question here from Johnny. Johnny says, "Hi Vanessa, I've got a quick question. Are we ever going to get the Dig Rock game that was announced a long time ago? Now that the franchise is back and all bands released singles and are back to a new CD series, it seems a bit odd that we don't have news about it. What are your thoughts about it? Also, I watched the B Project Ryusei Fantasia review video and I was surprised you could also do game reviews. As a longtime viewer, I was happy to see a sponsored label on one of your videos. As you said in one of the posts on the community tab, you're getting there slowly but surely. Hope the hand that feeds HQ continues for a long time. Thanks." Thanks, Johnny, for your message. Also, the B Project Ryusei Fantasia review was a bit on top of... I wasn't expecting that email, I will be honest. I wasn't expecting that email at all. So I don't know how even the P-Cube found me or found the hand that feeds HQ, but... Thank God they did. And I got to review the game. It was the very first time that I reviewed the game. I'm a gamer. I love gaming. I don't have that much time to game. And I do enjoy the B Project franchise quite a lot. Not as much as other franchises, but I do enjoy quite a lot. So it was really a treat to see games and music in the same place and me getting a chance to review the game. And at the same time, actually the character which you are playing as in that game has a similar background to mine. So it was the very first time that I felt seen in a game, if you know what I mean. So it was really, really interesting. So what better way to start? I was not expecting these at all, but well, I got these and it was really, really awesome to get that chance to review the game and have some time with it before anyone else, which was the very first time that I got access to anything before it was released. It was crazy, and it felt really, really good to have that chance to review a game before everyone else got their hands on it and to enjoy it. I still haven't played much. My focus is on Thrive, of course. I'm a sucker for Kento and Goshi. But yeah, I still have to play the rest of the game. I haven't had much time to do so, and with all the things with the surgery and everything, those things ended up getting a bit on the back burner for me, but that was exciting. At the same time, we are going to supposedly get a Dig Rock game on Nintendo Switch. It was announced 2 or 3 years ago. It's nowhere to be found. There's no updates of the development. There's no updates about anything. The website is still on. The mention on Automate's page is still on, but there's no news about the game. I know that games take a lot of time to develop, but I don't know why you are going to announce a game and take 2-3 years to actually release a game. I don't understand, especially if you are going to announce something, you are announcing it when the game is already well into development. You are only ironing the last parts of that game to actually ensure that QA is done. not announce it, and maybe the game is actually not even done. And it was just a teaser to see if how many people were excited about it, maybe. So yeah, we have that about the Dig Rock game. I don't know what is going on, what is happening. The franchise is still on. I thought for a second that the franchise was really stopping altogether because there are no news about the game, but maybe because developing a game takes so long, it's so expensive, and the franchise doesn't sell that much. Maybe they are thinking twice about making that game. I was excited about it. I really wanted that game, and I really want that game. So, Automate, Idea Factory, please make that game that you promised that you were going to make. I would love to have that. I love the franchise. I love almost everyone in Ruby Leopard. So I would love to have that in there, and still to get the shenanigans with Impish Crow and even with Hound Roar. Potentially, you are going to be in that game a journalist doing a documentary about the bands. So it would be so good to actually get that chance to have a game that in some way emulates what you did with I believe with the Dynamic Court franchise. In one of the games, you are not a journalist, but you are a manager, so it is close in the dynamic that you are going to get with that specific group. So yeah, I was excited about that. I don't know if the game is ever going to arrive, but fingers crossed it arrives, because I want that game in my hands, and I would love to review it actually, since it has good music and it is a really awesome project, and it's going to be a game. Assuming that we get a game. So yeah, so thank you very much for your comment. Let me check your name again, Johnny. And we now are going back to the live chat because you guys are talking a lot. I like to see this happening. ML says, by the way, did you see the news? They are releasing group songs within the Anokoro no Bokurawa series. Growth and Quell will both get a new song and a new version of one of their debut songs. Oh, is that real? That's that's the first time that I get that news, but then again, I'm not on top of the news at the moment. Oh. So I need... Oh, that's good news, ML. You actually shared something that I didn't know. Anokoro, okay. This is good news for me. I love the series. I would love to see... now that the groups are doing this, it means that the group is going, revisit a previous song and now doing a song in their style right now. This is going to be awesome. Solids. The current Solids is nowhere to be found in the previous Solids. They are really awesome right now. They were a bit cheesy when they started, and some of the songs were a bit I believe that with John San taking over from their second CD, and John San now looking at their songs from the first CD, I believe that we are finally getting the good versions of the first songs by Solids. I believe that this is what is going to happen. In some way, I believe that's what is going to happen. In another way, what we have in here, Radakiana, New Testament. Oh my god, that's a really odd translation. We have a cult. Growth is a cult. We have found another cult in this channel, Shunichi Toki cult. We have the Somasaito cult as well. So we have a lot of cults in here. Growth somehow has a cult with the New Testament. Oh my god, I love translations. But yeah, Ao says Solids will be fun to see because it will be a new version made by John San of a song made by a completely different composer. Yeah, that's what I'm really excited about. It's John San really picking up from where the other composer actually left off. So let's see what he can do to Solids and what we could have gotten if he had picked Solids from the start. And Welcome says B Project recently I rewatched the anime. I don't know a type of nostalgia. The B Project anime is so bad that it is so good. It is crazy. I don't really enjoy that anime, and I believe that the anime it is quite shallow and it doesn't really delve that well into the story of the groups, but still, it does its job to explain to people what the franchise is about. I found it so cheesy. That it is so good at the same time. I often say the things that are the most cheesy sometimes are the most entertaining, so no problem whatsoever. The music actually makes up for that because the music is really good. Most of the times. They had a really bad spot between 2020 and 2022, 23, but now they are back with a good quality, so I don't have anything to complain about that. And you didn't derail the topic at all. Ao says people were speaking really highly of Ryusei Fantasia in B Pro franchise, so it would be awesome if other franchises got decent games too. Yeah, because this game actually feels like a really decent game. It's not really to farm anything. You are not really working to get cards. You are not really working to waste gems or spend money on it. You pay for the full game. You have the full game. You get a really cool experience, which is to manage a group of your choosing, and a member of your choosing gets really close to you. It's another thing that you may want to have. You may want to have that platonic romance going on in there. And it is a genuinely fun game. I don't understand how other franchises can't pull that off, because it is possible to create a good game out of a 2D music franchise. And it doesn't need to be a rhythm game. It doesn't need it to be a gacha game. It can be a game like this, and it works really well. It only furthers the quality of the franchise, and it only expands on the lore that exists already. So I feel that Ryusei Fantasia, in case you haven't checked the game is available on Steam, which is to say on PC, and on Nintendo Switch, in case you have a Nintendo Switch. I have both, but I only have the game on the Nintendo Switch because I got the code on Nintendo Switch. The game is really good. So if you don't have the game, really get it for yourself if you feel like you want to be a manager to a group and see how it goes and understand what is going on behind the scenes, how the politics are going, what you need to do. Is a bit like Idolish 7, but not like Idolish 7. In the terms of Idolish 7 is a bit more in depth about those things. But it is a really good look of how the industry works, and how, if you were really a manager, you would be working with a group. So it's really, really awesome. Hello, Mio, the physicist. It's the first time seeing you here today. Congratulations, they said. Thank you very much. And Mio, you are working and saying this, so thank you very much for stopping by. More. Jeannie, you are going to leave, so no problems. So thank you very much for watching. And now we have here Thrive and Killer King. I enjoyer basically says unwelcome. Thrive and Killer King are so dramatic. I love them. They have grown to be amazing. So that's one thing. Ultras I have yet to check completely. I will be reviewing their music. This is a group that I want to review their music. And ML says I'm playing Ryusei Fantasia without any knowledge of B Project, and it's pretty good. Lots of the usual idol-related drama. Yeah, and it is a good way to actually see how it goes, but you have a hand in that drama. You can stop it, and you can actually be there and do things. So yeah, Jeannie, bye-bye. And ML says, also, it took me 20 hours to finish only one of the 4 routes. And there are a lot of side stories too. I believe those aren't voiced though. Yeah, the side stories, I believe they aren't voiced, but still, it's a good bonus to have in that game. So if you take 20 hours for one route, you have 4. That's a lot. That's a long game in my books. And it is a really, really good game to check. It's fun. It has something that I love a whole lot, which is to, let's say, pretend that you are a manager for a 2D group. It's one of my dreams, actually, to manage a group, a band, or something of the sort. So that's another dream of mine that in some way gets turned true for me. Now, let's go back to the questions. And we are actually ending the questions here. So let's see. We have a question by Hui. Hui says, hello from the Philippines. Hello. My question is not necessarily about male seiyuu or 2D music projects, so apologies if it doesn't fit. And you can ignore it if you want to. I'm not going to ignore it. I'd like to know what games are you playing or love playing, since you said you are a gamer. Can you tell us a bit more about those? And also, what are the artists outside of Japan that you love or admire? I know that you also know that you always mention Suma Saito as your all-time favorite artist, but are there more on your list? Thanks for the good content over the years. I may lurk and never left a comment in the videos. No problem. But know that I'm leaving likes in those. Much love from the Philippines. Thank you very much, Hui. I have a lot of people from the Philippines following the channel, so it is good to see a lot of you here. So yeah. Regarding your question, what games I'm now playing? Well, I have a couple of games that I'm playing on and off. On mobile, I'm playing Idolish 7, but I still have yet to complete the story. It has come to my attention that the franchise's story has ended, I believe. I think that it has been that, but I haven't checked, so I may be saying something wrong. So we have that, and I was playing Tears of Tamis. You may know that game. I play with the Japanese dub because I want to hear, of course, Junichi Suabe. And I'm playing Love and Deep Space. You may already know that game. I believe many people know that game. I'm playing that game because I started to have problems and I started to follow that game. Basically, that's a really, really good game. I like the story. I like dystopian stories and stories that have a futuristic vibe. So that's a game that I'm following quite closely. And I'm not ashamed to say that my favorite is Silas, or how's his name in Japanese? Shin. So yeah, I'm a big fan. It's Konishi Katsuyuki, so of course. But you have also Takuya Sato in the dub, Shinosuke Tachibana, and Kobayashi as well. Denka. I'm missing his first name. Let's check. Japanese dub. Why is it missing that name? Damn. Yusuke Kobayashi. Damn. The name was missing. But yeah, you have Yusuke Kobayashi, Takuya Sato, Shinosuke Tachibana, and Katsuyuki Konishi. So I'm really into that game right now. That's quite easily the game that I spend the most time playing at the moment. I'm really weak for Silas or Shin. So that's my type of character in that specific type of game. So yeah, I'm playing those types of games. When it comes to games related to anything seiyuu, and at the same time I'm also playing B Project Ryusei Fantasia. So yeah, I still have that game to play, and I've been playing Dave the Diver. It's a Nintendo Switch game. Really, really fun. Pixel art. OML, you are going to enjoy Love and Deep Space. Sato Tako is doing an amazing job as Zane. You need to listen to him. It's... there are some cards in there in that game that are a bit, I will say, for people older than 18 years old. For real, there are some things there a bit racy, let's say. But the game is really cool and the design is really awesome. And the fact that it is almost 3D, it's quite realistic, is the best thing. The reactions and the motion and even the animations feel really, really high-end in terms of quality. It's not just something that was drawn. It is a 3D model acting in real time, which is crazy good, crazy expensive as well to do. But I really enjoy that. The expressions, the way they talk, and... Oh, Raphael. Raphael is a problem. I like that cheeky type. And Raphael was my favorite until Silas appeared. So right now it's Team Silas in here. So yeah. So yeah, let's check another part of the question, which was, what are the artists outside of Japan that you love or admire? I've said it a couple of times. There are some artists that I love a whole lot. My favorite artist besides Soma Saito is David Bowie. I like how transformative, inventive, and unique he was, because almost everything that you now see in music, it was created by him. He was the pioneer. So it is awesome to see how one artist influenced so many music genres, so many artists, from rock to pop to EDM to electronica to indie, everything. And David Bowie did that. He had one of the best voices ever for a singer. The range, the versatility, everything. And it still pains me that he died a couple of years ago, and I never got the chance to watch him perform live, because I'm a massive fan of his. So yeah, he does have conceptual albums in the sense that all his music is conceptual, and he has a persona which is completely different from CD to CD, which is awesome. I like those types of artists that challenge themselves to create music that goes beyond boundaries, beyond genres, beyond concepts, beyond even the style of writing. And while everyone was creating a specific music genre, he was doing something completely different on the side. So yeah, David Bowie is an artist that has marked me a lot. So aside from Soma Saito and beyond Japanese music, David Bowie is my favorite singer or artist. I'm a big fan as well of, and this is because of my generation, Linkin Park. I grew up listening to them, so almost they were my introduction to heavy music, although they are not necessarily heavy, and they were not necessarily heavy. They were nu metal, which is rap with rock. I also enjoy a lot The Killers. I was a massive fan of theirs a couple of years back. And when it comes to electronica, I love Daft Punk. I do love their music a whole lot. That was my introduction to electronica. It was my introduction to actually start creating electronica as a producer and DJ, so that's also there. So in a way, I do have those in there. So David Bowie, let's say, also Depeche Mode. I love Depeche Mode. Duran Duran. When it comes to heavy rock, I would say I grew up with Whitesnake. My parents love Whitesnake, so there's that. I love a whole lot Architects. They are my favorite hardcore or emo core band, so I love them a whole lot. They have a really good mix between screamo and clean singing. In some way, if you like the music by Gyroaxia, you are going to enjoy the music by Architects. And I do love a whole lot Bring Me the Horizon, although I haven't listened to their more recent CD, because I feel that it's not really my thing. But I love them a whole lot, to the point that Can You Feel My Heart, a song from Sempiternal, one of their CDs, I know how to play that song on my guitar. So that goes to show that I really like that band a whole lot. When it comes to non-seiyuu, but in Japan I love One Ok Rock, and that's really One Ok Rock and The Gazette. They are my favorite bands, and Gakt is my favorite solo artist, by far. So yeah, I do have not necessarily extremely eclectic tastes when it comes to my favorites. I do listen to a broad spectrum of music, but my favorites are usually either pop from the 80s or rock from right now or from the early noughties. So yeah, that's there. How's everyone in the comments? Are we still here? Are we still enjoying? We are nearing the end of the episode, or the live stream. We still have half an hour, but we are nearing the end of the episode. A pause to drink some water, and let's check the last question. Anonymous says, "Hi, I have a question. How do you choose the music you review on the website? I notice you don't review all the music, and you said that you avoid reviewing singles. So how do you decide which CDs to review, which to not review, and which franchises you will be following more closely in this case by reviewing their music. Congrats on the milestones. What do we have in here? It's an interesting question because ML, I'm not going to play guitar. I'm really, really bad. You do not know and do not need to see that happening. I'm really, really bad. I'm still struggling with some of Soma Saito's songs. I can't play Mirrors on the guitar. I can't. I don't know how he does it. I can't. I have a couple of songs that I am learning how to play. I have Canaria by Soma Saito. I have Can You Feel My Heart by Bring Me the Horizon. There's a song by Interpol. I don't remember the name. And there was, I believe, Kesho Sekai by Soma Saito as well. Songs that I started practicing, but I don't have that much time to practice, so it's been a while since I played guitar. My fingers are smooth right now, and I need to have those calluses in in my fingers to actually be ready to play without bleeding or chapping the fingers. It's been a while since I played guitar, but I know how to play Can You Feel My Heart on guitar. But let me tell you something about that song. It's really easy to play because it's only power chords, so you have to play with the fingers really open, and you are sliding up and down. It's not necessarily that difficult, and the song is really down-tempo, so almost anyone with a couple of hours into that song can learn how to play it. It's not really that's crazy technical, and I'm not really crazy technical as a guitar player. So the guitar playing... I'm not really confident about it, but I thought a couple of months ago about creating a song for the channel and to use it in the monthly review episodes instead of having a generic song in between clips, for example, in the intro, for example. So I may create a song, 30-second song to put in that intro. Assuming that it doesn't get a copyright strike because it sounds like something else that is already available somewhere. I'm not really that good of a guitar player. I play guitar. I play drums. Let's say I'm not really that good as a drummer as well. I play. I have fun. I believe it's the important part. You have fun, and I have fun. And I play the synthesizers and the piano. That's, I believe, the easiest thing to play, but I do not know theory whatsoever. So about the question, delving into why or how I choose the music I review on the website. So, first off, I review music by a specific number of franchises that you already know. Some franchises I'm on and off reviewing music because maybe they are in the bad phase and I no longer want to review music because of that bad phase, or their music ended up sounding really weird for a while and I no longer want to review music from that franchise. But for starters, let's say that a couple of franchises debuted right now. A rock franchise, a jazz franchise, an EDM franchise, let's say. I will check them all. I will check the lineup first. I need to check who are the seiyuu in that franchise, because if I don't know anyone, chances are I will not know who is singing. Never, ever. So that's a big issue. So usually I choose franchises in which I know at least one person in each group, to avoid having that problem of I don't know how to identify anyone in there. So that's one thing that I do almost immediately. I need to know at least one person in each group, or at least be familiar with their voice in some way. Another thing is the music genre. I tend to not review music by EDM franchises. So the Technoroid franchise, for example, I'm not ever going to review music from that franchise. Because I enjoy EDM to some point. I cannot be listening to EDM all the time. That's something that I don't enjoy, and it doesn't give me any pleasure whatsoever. And you will easily notice when I write the review that I was not writing it with excitement. So I don't want to actually pretend that I'm enjoying something. I don't feel that is right that is right in any way for the fans of the franchise that will notice that I'm making that up, or people that are just finding the franchise and think that just because I said it was good, that it was good. So I try to avoid reviewing music by franchises that I know that I will not enjoy, because either I don't like the music genre or I don't in the groups. It can happen. There are some franchises in which I do not know anyone in there. I made one exception once. It was for Ready Project, and it was why? Because in Ready Project we had individual videos with each seiyuu singing, talking, giving an interview, so I was quite familiar with their voices, although I didn't know who any of them were. I was familiar with their voices by the time that I got the music. Other projects don't focus that much on that, and when you get to the music, of course you may have one character video that was released, but I can't assist and the face to voice, and my head is not working that well when it gets to that point. So I usually tend to make sure that I know at least one person in each group, and that the music genre is up to something that I can comfortably review and enjoy. A big reason why I'm not reviewing music from the Fragaria Memories franchise that many people have talked about is that as a whole concept, that franchise doesn't interest me in the least. It may interest you and it may be fun for you, but the concept itself, the story itself, and even the groups, how they have their dynamics, it's not something that I want to review or cover in some way. I believe that many of you are quite excited about it, and it has been a hit. It has been a hit, and I reviewed a song of theirs in the last review advent calendar, but it's not something that makes me want to review. So yeah, I often tend to choose projects that are not that well known, things that I listened for the first time and I fell in love instantly, and that's a bit of that. It's weird to explain because in some cases I don't listen to previews, but with groups that I never heard, I need to listen to previews to know if it is worth checking out. So in that case, I check previews. If I find the preview interesting, I will check the CD. If I don't like that CD, I will drop the franchise instantly. It's usually how it goes when I'm finding a franchise for the very first time. With franchises that are around for a long time, or franchises that have a cast that I will enjoy for sure, I will check the songs when they drop without checking previews. I will listen. If I enjoy, I will review. If I don't enjoy while reviewing, I stop the review and I don't review. Because I don't like writing negative reviews. I hate writing negative reviews. Because fans usually get crazy when I write negative reviews. Then I don't feel comfortable writing negative reviews. And also, reviews are subjective, right? What I like, you may not like, and what you like, I may not like. So when I write a review, I'm not saying this is the universal truth. I'm saying this is the truth for Vanessa, which is a bit different. But sometimes writing negative reviews is something that, for sure, brings unwanted attention to my work. It's uncomfortable. But sometimes it happens. For example, I had that happening with Trigger earlier this year, and it still is a bit frustrating to look back and see the comments that I got because of that. I don't like writing negative reviews, so when I find a group that I don't like or a song that I don't like, I try to not review it because I don't want the backlash. I don't enjoy the backlash at all. Are we back? I believe we are back. But yeah, when it comes to the reviews, it's how I choose things. Well, thankfully, I was not seeing the live streaming, so I didn't know I was frozen. Sorry. Damn it, internet. I just need to hold on for 15 more minutes. Give me 15 more minutes without issues. Thank you. But yeah, when it comes to checking franchises, I usually try to make sure that I either came across a preview that was interesting and I need to check the group, or I saw that the concept is interesting and I need to check the group, or I saw that is about rock music and I need to check the group. Sometimes it doesn't mean much when I say that, oh, it's a rock project, of course it's going to be good. No, it's not of course, because projects are good and bad depending on the producers, their objectives. They can have stellar lineups and the songs may be awful. So it will depend on a lot of factors. So sometimes we are seeing, yeah, I'm going to check that group because it has a lot of favorite seiyuu of mine, and sometimes that group doesn't sound good. So it happens, it can happen. So I try to be a bit picky about the groups that I check or the projects that I check, because I'm covering a lot. And I have been covering so many projects for so long that it gets a bit too much. At the same time, how do I choose which franchises to check? I usually avoid franchises that have too many groups. I can't handle more than 4 groups in a franchise. That's too many groups to handle. That's too many people to memorize and commit to my head. It's a lot of music to memorize and know the names on top of my head. It's a lot of things. So I try to keep things simple, and especially because projects, I believe that any project that has more than 5 groups is repeating music genres and concepts across many groups. And there's no novelty factor to the groups. But yeah. Well, we hope it's not crashing. So yeah, I was seeing this crashing and now it's not crashing. But yeah, I try to avoid big groups or big franchises, because I can't keep up with all the groups that are out there. It's too many to follow. I understand the excitement, but it's too many to follow. I cannot follow that many groups at the same time. So yeah, that's a big brunt of the question answered, with some hiccups along the way, because I didn't notice that the internet was dying on my end, which is crazy. But yeah, I'm quite picky about how I choose the CDs to review. If I already follow the project, I will review potentially everything. Unless the songs are not available. In the case of Aopella, it's that specific thing. And Dig Rock, it was that specific thing until very recently. I have some CDs to review of theirs from last year, so do not worry. But if the songs are available, I will review, assuming it is a project that I already review music from. If it is a new project, I will check the previews, if I like the previews, or if I like the concept or the lineup, at least. I will check the songs for the very first time. If I don't enjoy what I check for the first time when I'm trying to review it, and that's a big reason why I do not say what I'm going to review, because I may scrap that review immediately if I don't like the music. I will check the groups. If I don't like the first CD, I will not check more, and I will not write a review. When it comes to groups that I review music for a long time, if I happen to find a CD that doesn't click with me, like how it happened with Trigger earlier this year, it's awful for me. It feels awful to write a review like that. But it's something that I don't like to do, and I was going to avoid reviewing that, but people will start thinking or asking, where is that review? So I reviewed it, and I was thinking people will be civilized about the review. They were not, so I don't like writing negative reviews. It hurts a lot. I don't give 5 stars and 4 stars to all CDs to avoid. This is something that people actually assume. I don't review things 5 and 4 stars because I want to avoid clash with fans. I review with 5 and 4 stars because I listened to the CD and I enjoyed the CD. If I don't like the CD, I do not review it. That's a big reason why most of the CDs reviewed are 5 or 4 stars. So that's basically that. And if you go to the breakdown of each CD, sometimes you have songs reviewed with 2 stars and others with 5. So we'll understand what that rationale came from, more than seeing just a 5-star there and assume that I give a 5-star because I was paid for that. Someone once wrote that comment to me that they felt that I reviewed CDs 5 stars because I was paid to review 5 stars, which is hilarious. I was never paid to do any work that I do at the THTFHQ, so in the day that I am paid to review, I will decline it because I don't review music on demand. That's weird. Paid to review music? That's weird as hell. But I will accept if they send me the CDs to review, and I will do a review that is unbiased, regardless if the music is good or bad. But yeah, there was some people assuming and leaving some malicious comments about how my reviews are always 5 stars when they hate the music that I was reviewing, and saying that I was paid to review that positively, which is, well, give me a break, people. So yeah, that's a big answer to that question, and that's all the questions that were sent to me. This one was from Anonymous, so thank you very much, Anonymous. Thank you very much to I, Kuropi, Jani, Hui, and Anonymous for sending questions. And let's go back to the chat that seems a bit quieter right now. You guys are here, and I see that you are also having internet problems, but mostly it's my internet basically not working. So yeah, we have a comment here by Ao. No EDM, with the exception of Anthos, but to be honest, that's fair. Yeah, Anthos is not necessarily EDM, is it? It has a lot of EDM, but it's not strictly EDM. I would say they are more a chill-out group, although chill-out is EDM. It's a section of EDM, but they are more a chill-out group with pop vibes than an EDM group through and through. I believe, at least. But I make some exceptions. I say that I don't review music by EDM groups fully or projects that are fully EDM. I make exceptions, which is, of course, a good reason why some projects, for example, the Grey Sheep franchise, I ended up enjoying the music. I don't usually listen to that type of music, simply. But I make exceptions because it's not about liking or disliking a music genre. It's about liking or disliking something that was created, and in your head, something feels good or feels wrong. And in my head, EDM mostly feels wrong, because it's not really that creative in the way it was created, or it is lazy in the lyrics or lazy in the delivery, but that's me being really nitpicky. So yeah. We are no longer frozen. I see your comments. And Welcome says, I think it's a valid opinion. In my case, if the song it's not for my liking, I just leave a personal score for me. Yeah, it's the best thing that you can do, is that you listen to the song, you don't like, you were reviewing, or you thought about reviewing the CD, you listen to the CD, you didn't enjoy the CD, you don't review the CD. Simply. It's the best way to work that, to avoid people leaving negative impressions, reviews, whatsoever, or backlashing on you. So I'm not really that excited about those types of comments. And I agree with you, Unwelcome. Grey Sheep is really good. And if I was saying, and I was doing what I said of avoiding all the EDM groups, I wouldn't have found Grey Sheep, or I wouldn't have found Versus Ambivalence. So I make exceptions. If the music is genuinely good, I will be there. Now, we have a couple of topics to end up this episode. We are now nearing the end of the episode. We have 8 minutes. One thing that I want to talk to you about is that we have, in September, in case you haven't noticed, on September 25th, we have the biggest biggest day of the year. Why? Because we have so many artists releasing music in the same day. We have Shunichi Toki, Soma Saito, Ruby Leopard, Impish Crow, Momochi or Veronica, and Grey Sheep, all in the same day. So this is crazy. But yeah, let me leave these in the chat. Let me leave that, because that's crazy good. And I'm quite excited about it. I don't know if you guys are excited about it, but it is quite an amazing day. We have Soma Saito releasing a third full-length album, Shunichi Toki releasing a covers album of anime songs, we have Ruby Leopard finally releasing their single, and we have Impish Crow also releasing their single finally, we have Momochi or Veronica, in case you want to relate to the band Veronica or talk about Momochi the character, releasing music in that day, and we have Grey Sheep. It is a crazy day. If you are like me, a fan of all these groups, bands and artists, good luck, because your wallet will be crying. I know mine will. it is going to be a really massive day. And I feel your excitement and welcome. It's going to be a massive, massive, massive day. So many great artists releasing music on that day. It is going to be the very first time in this year that we have so much quality in the exact same day and in the same month. So we have the strongest day of the year right now in there. I believe this is going to be insane. So I'm quite excited about that, and I hope you guys are excited about it. I see some excitement from ML and AO. Yeah, the wallets are going to be basically press F for respect, because this is going to be really aggressive for some of the wallets out there. Mine especially, but let's say Ruby Leopard and the Impish Crow are not going to release music directly on the same day for us international fans, because their music has a delay in terms of release for international fans. But at least Somasaito, Shinichi Toki, Momochi, and Grey Sheep are going to be released on the same day for us international fans, so it's going to be crazy. So I'm quite excited about that. You mentioned the Anokoros, how they really, I said the last half of the year is going to be aggressive for us, and it's going really to be aggressive. Especially as Tsuki Pro fans, we are... Especially, I'm going to say this, we have been well fed in the last couple of months. No kidding. We have really high quality music and consistently releasing high quality music. And by the end of the year, we have music by the Yumero Cast franchise, which is yet another thing. It's so good. I believe that Yumero Cast the Games it drops in September as well, 29th. So it's in the same week, I believe, or in the week next to that. So it's going to be amazing, quite amazing, and I'm quite excited for September. I believe it's going to be the biggest month of the year, unless something crazy happens in October, November, and December. But September is starting to be the best month, and usually... And I've been following music by male seiyuu artists and 2D groups for a while. Usually September is a dead month. There's no much going on. And right now it's going to be one of the craziest months ever. So I'm quite excited about it. Quite excited. So that's a big thing that we have in there. At the same time, I've been working on some episodes of the podcast, and I've got scripts for all the podcast episodes until the end of November, because then I have to write the end year features, and those are written basically 1 or 2 days before the episode drops, or each episode drops. And I have good things coming to the podcast. I said that I'm focusing more on episodes about the seiyuu industry right now and how it works, because I've strayed a bit away, but I still will bring those unhinged episodes in which I talk about CDs that I love and things that I love. So I do have that in there. But I've been recently working on an episode, and this comes from insights from seiyuu who gave interviews to some magazines or some TV shows or YouTube channels. And this is something that I found interesting but sad at the same time. I was writing about seiyuu in their 50s not having or struggling to find work in the industry. And I found an interview by Konishi Katsuyuki, who is a seiyuu that I love a whole lot. He's well known for having one of the manliest voices in the anime industry, and he's usually voicing Aniki type of characters. And he shared that when he reached his 50s, he noticed that people no longer wanted to give him roles, and he was starting to fade away. And he said that this is common in the industry for seiyuu over 50 to start noticing that work doesn't come their way. And because the anime production companies want to bring newer seiyuu, younger seiyuu, more popular seiyuu, and they do not want to bring veterans. And this is quite interesting because a couple of episodes of the podcast ago, I talked about the photo books, and one of the photo books that sold the most was actually Konishi Katsuyuki's, and he's over 50. So there's something not working right here, because the seiyuu is saying that they struggle to find work, but at the same time the fans want to see them working. So I believe that companies, anime companies, directors and everything, they are not seeing the potential to bringing those veteran seiyuu and leveraging that to actually have more people watching anime and give work to tried and true actors that actually have a lot of experience and are amazing. So I remember that Katsuyuki said in that interview that he will accept any role. It can even be someone in the background. It can be even a mascot. It can even be one line per episode. But he will accept anything right now, which is odd. He was one of the most coveted seiyuu a couple of years back. And now he has to, because he's 50, over 50, he needs to resort to doing anything they ask of him. And he can't really say much about it. It's really, really frustrating. And I was working on an episode like that, so this is going to be an interesting episode for you. It's coming in the next couple of months or weeks. I don't know how close that episode is because I'm creating episodes ahead of time, but it is something that saddens me because there are so many talented seiyuu in their 50s or nearing their 50s, and they are starting to get worried about the fact that their career has phases in which they are not known in their 20s, they reach their maximum or the climax in their 30s, in their 40s some struggle, some become superstars, and in their 50s they fade away. That's not right. So there's something that I'm going to explore in an episode. I found it really interesting listening that coming from Konishi Katsuyuki. He's quite vocal about these things. He's quite vocal about many things. And he may appear a bit aggressive sometimes because of the way he talks about those, but he made a really good point about these because people in their 50s have to accept anything to appear on anime. This is ridiculous. This is really a seiyuu that is matured, has a matured voice, and they have so much experience that they are really important to bring to a production. And some seiyuu in their 50s, they do not sound like they are in their 50s. Konishi Katsuyuki has the same voice he had in his 30s. Hikaru Midorikawa has the same voice he had in his 20s. So some seiyuu have voices that don't get old. So why not bringing those seiyuu to main roles or to supporting roles? Why made them work in background roles? So that's really weird. So I have an episode about that, and that's a really interesting topic to bring to the spotlight, and I believe that this is going to be interesting. I will share the link of that interview in that episode, so for you to actually check the whole video in which he was talking about that and understand why he was so frustrated. So yeah, the theme of age in the seiyuu industry is something that really bothers me, because why should actors have an expiry date? If we have here, internationally, we have people dubbing characters in movies by Disney, and they are in their 70s and in their 80s, and there's no problem whatsoever. Why can't seiyuu in their 50s in Japan voice main characters or leading characters or supporting characters in anime? I don't understand that, and I believe that, yeah, they will say that because they already had their time to shine, they no longer need to worry about that right now. But when they were shining back then, they were not earning the money that seiyuu now earn. They were earning much, much less. So right now, a seiyuu doing the work that they were doing back then is earning a bit more money than they did back then. So they didn't save as much. So right now they may struggle. They may be stars or superstars in their 50s or their 40s, and they may not have that as much money as seiyuu in their 20s and 30s that are doing work for anime or games or whatever and are earning a bit more money because of that. So I find that a bit unfair in some way, and I find an interesting topic to cover, so I will be covering that, and you wait for that, because it's going to be a really awesome episode. So, with that being said, I believe we are wrapping up a bit over the time. Thank you very much for everyone joining this episode. I see a lot of you here in the comments. I see a lot of you also in the VOD, which is to say when the video is on demand. You are going to get 2 videos on demand, but the first one I'm going to basically cut the comments because I have to cut that part in which I am buffering like there's no tomorrow. But I hope this was interesting despite the technical hiccups again this time around, because the internet was not collabing with me. But yeah, I hope you guys actually found this episode or this live stream interesting. and that we got to have a good time and relax here for a little bit to talk about what we love, which is male seiyuu and 2D music projects, which is really, really fun. I see you in the comments, Bungee Gum. I haven't seen you before early in this live stream, so hello, hello. You say Midorikawa sounds just as fabulous now as he did in his 20s. I believe he sounds even better, because he doesn't sound as nasally as he did because of his Tochigi accent. And right now he sounds a bit softer in his Tochigi accent, and he sounds so good. Midorikawa now sounds amazing, and he still has a young voice, so why not? So you have that as well. Midorikawa, a couple of years ago, gave an interesting interview talking about how age bothered him a bit, and I may bring that also to that episode, so I will pick that up as well. So with that being said, everyone, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you to everyone who sent messages to this live stream, those of you who joined regardless, if you left questions or just lurked, to everyone that stood around through my technical problem, hijinks, basically. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for letting me know when I was getting those problems, and at the same time I hope you had a great time in here, are excited for all the music dropping in September and the rest of the year, and everything that I have in store for you for the episodes of the podcast. On a side note, I'm working on the monthly review episodes. I'm going to record all of those tomorrow. The true episodes, the June and the July episode, will be dropping in the next couple of days. I'm still not sure, but I will record those tomorrow, so do not worry. At the same time, thank you very much to everyone for supporting the website. The website is 14 years old. It's almost a teenager already. It's a teenager. It's a lot of work in there, a lot of hours in there. And some of you have been following me since the start. Some of you found me recently. But regardless, thank you very much for being part of the journey and for being here, and also for helping this channel get 1,000 subscribers. The next challenge is basically to get 1,400 more hours of watch time. I hope this live stream helped in any way for this channel to be monetized. Let's hope it happens, at least before Christmas. It would be a really awesome gift for the channel. So if you want to help on this challenge, I'm not going to be every month or every week following this challenge, but if you want to join in, just watch the episodes from start to finish that I create. Simply that. It works. It's actually something that people may not assume it helps, but it helps a lot. So by watching, you're already doing an awesome job, lending me a hand to get that monetization that is elusive, has been slipping through my fingers in the last couple of years. So yeah, thank you very much for joining. I hope you enjoyed these, and with all being said, oh no, I'm not going to record at 2 a.m. again. I have free afternoons on Friday, so I'm going to record in my free afternoon on Friday. No longer reviewing things at 2 a.m. You guys, if you watch that episode, you notice that my eyes start open and end almost closed. I was not okay in that episode. I was really tired. So yeah, thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for sticking around and for being part of this journey and for wanting to join me in this live stream. I may do more live streams. If you actually want more of these, just let me know in the community tab, for example. I will leave there a survey, and let me know if you want more live streams and with which frequency. I may have time to do once per month, for example, but let me know if you would like to have live streams in some way, because I have a lot of fun talking with you in real time. I find it more fun than writing or replying to your comments, although I do reply to all comments. I do take some time at times, but I do reply to all comments. So yeah, let me know if you actually want to have more live streams. And with that being said, thank you very much for being around and for sticking around for these long live streams, 2 live streams, and for supporting this channel and for supporting the hand at THTFHQ, which is basically now 14 years old. So thank you very much, and I'll see you guys around.